Welcome back to News 3 today at 11. What started out as a school for formerly enslaved children in 1874 is now a thriving museum and resource center where history and legacies are preserved. The Willow Hill School was in existence for 125 years, the longest for any school in Bullitt County before evolving into a museum and resource center. Dr. Alvin Jackson is the chairman of the board of trustees for the Willow Hill Heritage and Renaissance Center. His daughter, Dr. Nkenge Jackson Flowers, is the board secretary. You can see it's a family affair. Thank you so much for coming back today.
Thank you for having us today.
Listen, there is so much history when we talk about Willow Hill. Just last year, you were here talking about your 150th anniversary. Let's recap that event and talk about what has happened since then.
Well, it's been really exciting for us to see the growth of our museum. When the descendants of the formerly enslaved founders, who we are, started the museum in 2005, we entered a building but with a lot of vision. And over the years, we've built several programs, including an archive. We have 10 museum exhibits. We have a summer technical camp, and we have cultural events like a Taste of Struggle, in which we hope to bring the public to our site to really learn about the history of the Willow Hill community, which is in Bullitt County.
Now, you mentioned the Taste of Struggle. That was recently, that was just a couple of weeks ago. Let's talk about that event and why you decided to put on this type of activity.
Well, it was an idea of my late wife, Dr. Gail Jackson, who wanted to make a correlation between the formerly enslaved, the foods that they ate, how they prepared them, and trace the history to soul food today. And so that was exciting because our son, Jelani Jackson, who is a chef, has soul food restaurants in Cincinnati, Ohio, came down in honor of his mother, along with his brother, Dr. Tiva Jackson, and my other daughter, Willow Jackson Harper, to participate in this great event where we ate on the pavilion and we saw the preparation of these foods over time and toured the museum. And it was a wonderful experience.
It's sort of like a family reunion, right?
It was.
You have the food, you have the history, and you have the connection. You're connecting people.
Go ahead.
So it is. So the event starts very early in the morning. We have a pit master who was trained by his father, who was trained by his grandfather, who was a formerly enslaved individual. He dug his own pit. He started the fire. He chose the wood. He cooked the meat. So it's a slow all-day event. You're drawn in by the aroma, but the signature part is at the end, you get to taste the food. And so it's another way of presenting history, not just an exhibit, but something that our patrons can enjoy and taste. And so the next event will be next year, and we encourage everyone to be a part of it.
Dr. Jackson, when you said, I felt that. Okay, so let's talk about the evolution of the center, because you are now a member of the Georgia African American Historic Preservation Network, which is affiliated with the Association of African American Museums, and you're also working with Georgia Southern University.
Absolutely, and I just happen to be board president of the Georgia African Historic Preservation.
Wow.
And so that group preserves history around the state, and we do that at Willow Hill, and so it was a natural fix. And this is something that I've long had an interest in preserving. Who are we preserving it for? The next generations, so that they can understand and learn how our ancestors live and also benefit from where they are today. So that's very important, and we want to also talk about Juneteenth. That is coming up on June 20th, when we will partner with the Bullitt County NAACP to celebrate or commemorate is probably a better word, the freedom of African American from enslavement in 1865. And then in September, we have our annual homecoming, where everyone who's had any affiliation with Willow Hill, whether they went to school there, if they're a teacher, whatever, come back and let's have a good old-fashioned homecoming. a fish fry and learn about the history of our people and tell it to the next generation.
All right, we've run out of time, but you also have a summer camp coming up. We can find all the information about Willow Hill by going to our website, wsav.com/Willow Hill. We have to have you back on the show because there's never enough time. Thank you so much.
And thank you so
much
much.
for having us.
Thank you, thank you.
Stay with us. You're watching WSAV News 3 today at 11. We'll be right back.